Charlamagne the God throwing shots at Drake. He say Drizzy Drake, Aubrey, put a green light on him. Yeah, put a green light on him. Told the security guards, Big Morty Forker, some of the biggest men allegedly that he has ever seen. And we not talking about in his bed, people. We talking about with his eyes. Not his ass, his eyes. Look, told him take off on him. As soon as they see him, put paws and feet on him. Whatever happens, he would pay the bill. Allegedly, he did this 3-4 years ago. So lucky for Charlamagne, throughout the years, people have started liking him. He started liking him a little bit. He's a long way from that let me get that drop Charlamagne. He's a long way from that. He's been a lot realer lately. Lucky for him, it saved his life. They was gonna do that to him. Drop it in the comments. Drake didn't do that shit. It's all cap. Ain't no green light on you, fam. If they wanted to touch, you'd have been touched. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Look, Joe Budden throwing shots at Lil Wayne. He heard the Carter 6. He say it sucks. Sucks, fam. He says God like rapping over bullshit beats. At least he said the truth. God like rapping. But the other part, it ain't bullshit beats, bro. You just got to understand it's experimental. The man is showing personality. He could have came over all the shit y'all wanted him to come over, but give him some time. This is another trip around the sun for Weezy. Weezy the GOAT, fam. Yeah, Weezy the GOAT. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments. Look at Budden, Joe said even Nicki and Drake didn't come through that door for him. Just like Drake don't need Wayne to make hit records, Wayne don't need Drizzy and Nicki Minaj to make that. But guess what? That too will be coming soon, bro. Just stay tuned, fam. He's just showing y'all where he at right now. That's what an album is, fam. It's not what you want to hear. It's what it's supposed to be. Plus, fuck Joe Budden. He was never, ever good commercially. Not even with Slaughterhouse, fam. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Drop it in the comments, fam. Scars from the play. Look, Lil Baby surprises fans with YFN Lucha performance. Look, he did the realest thing possible. He's on his Wham tour right now. So in Atlanta, fam, what's the realest thing he could do? What would be the realest thing he could do? Bring YFN Lucha out and give him the stage. That's exactly what he did, bro. That's why I like Atlanta. That's why I like Atlanta. And it's built off the backs of the blacks. But they really keep it going, bro. They pay it forward. Everybody looks out for everybody. Look, shout out YFN Lucha. Like I said, he gave him the stage. The man stayed solid and got out solid. He kept it solid and got out solid with morals and principles. One only can salute that. Yeah, one can only salute that. Most of them get out friendly on the medicine, all type of other shit that you don't even know who they are anymore. At least he stayed the same, fam. Just elevated himself. Shout out YFN Lucha, man. Drop it in the comments. Look, Pacman Jones, most notably known for playing football. Man was pretty fast. But look here, he was booked on assault charges, arrested on assault charges on a police officer. Northern Kentucky, booked in King County Jail for public intoxication, disorderly conduct, and allegedly assault on 12. Look, they said he was at the second story bar and there was an altercation with him and an employee. But when the police got there, he was trying to leave. Allegedly, they caught him in the parking lot. Allegedly, he was aggressive and they booked him for assault charges and public intoxication. Look, I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. The assault on the police officer charge, that's gonna get thrown out. Yeah, it's gonna get thrown out. That's why they didn't explain anything about it. They just saying, hey, oh, he could have spit at me. They making something up, man. Or taking this from that just to scare him, just for right now. Those were gonna be dropped. Unfortunately, the public intoxication, sleep it off. He'll be out. This ain't gonna go as far as people may think. Drop it in the comments, fam. Scars from the playground. Look, Lil Wayne headlined a concert at Madison Square Garden. Look, bro, L.I.L. Wayne is fly as hell. So even at MSG, he brought LL. Look, he brought LL Cool J on the stage to perform bells with him. The crowd loved it. On top of that, man, the man rapped everything, bar for bar. They thought Wayne would be gassed out and he huffing and puffing. No, the man can still perform, bro. You got to get that out of your head. And a lot of people say, oh, the CD will whack. No, you just got to reacclimate yourself to what music is. That's rap. What you've been listening to, unfortunately, has been commercial hip-hop, and some people has let it take over. So y'all stop looking for real gems. What he gave y'all, bro, that's something you could listen to over and over and over and keep hearing something different. It's gonna always elevate you. Shout out Lil Wayne, bro, he's the GOAT. Scores from the playground, drop it in the comments, man. Look, Snoop Dogg new biopic, directed by Craig Brewer. Look, this gonna show the growth from hip-hop star to iconic entertainment mogul. Brewer directed Hussle and Flow. So this might be good. It's gonna be very Hollywoodish. Yeah, Snoop Dogg is also co-producing this. This is gonna be his first project under the Death Row Pictures deal with NBC Universal. It's gonna be something like an after-school special, bro. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. They might get the camera right. If Snoop is smart, he'll make sure he get that camera right and that motherfucker don't look like an independent film. You know what I mean? He'll give the people their money's worth. If he do that, the film will be alright, but yeah, it's gonna be like an after-school special. This is gonna be the worst depiction since the Bob Marley movie. They fucked that up, and it's gonna be the same thing because it's gonna embellish all type of shit. Yeah, it's gonna be embellished. Drop it in the comments, man. Shout out Snoop Dogg. I like him, but sometimes I don't, man. Most times I don't. If I'm just being honest and real, man. Drop it in the comments. Look, Timbaland launched an AI label, Stage Zero. Look, he's done incredible things within his career, but he's throwing it all away. That's what the fans think. He's throwing it all away because now he focusing on his new artist, Tata. It's an AI artist, but he say, she's more than just an AI artist. He's creating a different genre of music, call it A-pop. First artist of a generation, not just producing tracks anymore. He's producing systems, stories, and a whole start from scratch. Blah, 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 blah. You ain't the first and the last that done tried this thing thinking y'all gonna be on something futuristic. They been having a lot of AI rappers, bro. They're out there. Let's just be honest, let's just be real, but it ain't nothing better than a human team. You ask all the women that be with the dildos and shit, they still like the real team. It's nothing different, bro. You can't replace the real team for something that's just adapts and learns. It ain't human. Drop it in the comments, man. You'll never get rid of real musicians. Scars from the playground. Check out that musician. Just being honest, just being real. Drop it in the comments. Look, Kevin Gates files for divorce after 1 month with Brittany Renner. Look, I told everybody when they was all happy for these two that it wasn't never gonna work. Wasn't never gonna work. For Kevin, the thought of her just grinding on Charleston White and having him jizz in his pants on the Danza project was way too much. Way too much. He was just getting his rocks off. On top of that, bro, he knew she started off as a fan. It wasn't all her. It wasn't all her. She's really trying to change her thing. I don't really think that's just for TV. I think Kevin might have talked her into going into something she don't even know about. That might just be another phase too. But that's besides the point. She got in there with Kevin and Kevin wanted it his way. On top of that, we all know he's into some very strange things. He's a weird guy. Even Drika didn't want to stick around for it. So you think a new woman that barely know him gonna stay? Doesn't work that way. Yeah, doesn't work that way. There's a reason These people are always single. It's not just by choice. Like, they just want to go fuck around. I'm just going to go fuck around all the time and sleep by myself most of the time, but at least I'm fucking around. No, unfortunately, that's not how it's going, bro. Nobody choose to be alone. Once you done had somebody. Now, if you ain't never had nobody, you don't know what you're missing. But once you done had and you done lost, you want to have again. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Look, OG Percy throwing shots at Wack 100. And he's defending Nipsey Hussle because Wack 100 has said some things about him. But I'm obliged to believe those things at this time. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. But OG Percy say he's not going to let no blood disrespect a Quip. You know, he's not can't let a blood disrespect a Quip. Look, bro, them LA Crips don't even like you, OG Percy. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. That's facts. They nor do they respect you, and they think you got put down at 45 by a 17-year-old. They can't see you for who you think you are. Let's just be honest, bro. But look, he want to go at Tree Finger Wack. They call him Tree Finger Wack. Everybody ought to know Wack was doing what he did. You know what I mean? Doing what he did. Unless that man did something with you, I wouldn't be speaking on what he do in the bed. Why does it matter to you, pussy? If you supposed to be who you think you are, you know you was doing some things in prison cells. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. Y'all all do it. Y'all all do it. Cause y'all getting y'all rocks off, bro. You were institutionalized. You got to look to you. You got to look to you, boy. That's why you don't let that mustache grow out. Men are supposed to have a mustache. We know you grew it, but you're institutionalized. Why? Allegedly, that's how your boy Toy might have wanted you to look while you was in there, so you still looking like that. Look at the other guy, the fat guy that's going around and say he was locked up with him. Got that whole little zesty way about him. Let's just be honest, bro. You gotta look at things for what they are. You got to look at them for what they are, not for what you think they are. You really see, drop it in the comments, fam. Scars from the playground. Lil Baby rejected Raw 49 chain offering. Look, while Lil Baby, while Dominique was performing, Robert 49 tried to put his necklace around Lil Baby neck. Lil Baby got great defensive skills. I give him that. You got to give him that. Why he got great defensive skills, bro? He did one of these moves, stopped the necklace, seen what it was. Oh, that ain't for me. Put it in my hand. I'm going to hold it like this for you, though, just to show everybody I'll rock with you. Raw 49, bro. What the hell, bro? Yeah, what the hell? That's his word. What the hell? Who started this trend where you don't think another nigga wanna rock your chain? Why, fam? Too much. And you got to see these things coming before they happen, before the internet takes it and runs with it. That's how Pump did Kodak Black. Kodak Black, they changed for a minute, but it's like, bro, leave that shit alone. That's a bad fad. Yeah, it's a bad fad to jump on. You putting I throw chains on my niggas like I own slaves. You know, a nigga don't want to wear your motherfucking chain. He came out the house without one that night, just showing that he don't even need it. Why would he want to wear yours, man? Drop it in the comments. Some people are just weird, bro, but you got to think. You got to think what's really going on behind the scenes. This is all that subtle imagery. Yeah, they just trying to sneak that in so you don't know what's really going on, but it gets in you, it seeps in some type of way, and you think it's proper to put the chain on your best friend, but it's not, fam. It is not. Drop it in the comments, fam. Scars from the playground. Look, McClain breaks down crying in an interview with Cam Newton. And Cam Newton, all he asked him was about acting. Like, how do you choose them roles and get in the characters? Well, look, Woody took a breath for a minute. He was filled with so much emotion, let's just say it like that, he couldn't stop crying. Couldn't it? This ain't to laugh at him, because you don't really know what's going on with a person. That one little question was all he needed to make him think a little more. Well, he had to cry. He had to cry it out. And I feel for him because I haven't cried in years. Matter of fact, I usually lose by 10 a year. I ain't even used them last year. Drop it in the comments. But after he pulled himself together, left the scene, pulled himself together, he came back. He said, you know what? I'm having daughters. I just don't want them to see me as a bad guy. Hollywood takes you as the roles you portray, and everybody treats you in such a way. He don't want to be the younger Woody McClain. He wants to show that he's different, but he's being typecast right now. So when you see him, you think he's about trouble, but the man is not really about trouble, and the man wants everybody to stop correlating his name to trouble, despite him being Billy Badass on screen. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground. Ashton Kutcher kissed Sean William Scott in Dude, Where's My Car? This is a film back in the day for the YNs that don't know nothing about this. Well, look, Ashton Kutcher's name has came up in the whole Diddy trial, the Diddy case, just being related, correlated to Diddy. We all know Ashton Kutcher, Diddy, and Ray J, they had their own little treyway. And we not talking about the gang. Shout out the gang, though. We not talking about the gang. They had a little treyway going on. Treeway, however you want to say it. The treeway, they was doing the threesome. You know what I mean? Really said, we all know that. But if you watch Dude, Where's My Car, you'll see him tongue Sean William Scott down in a scene that should have been deleted. Didn't even need to be there. Let's just be honest. Let's just be real. I was a child. But these people show you who they are, and you just don't listen. He was already tonguing them down, bro. This is why both of them went on to do bigger and better movies. And I thought that was one of my favorite movies, but after seeing it as a grown man, I don't like it. Y'all don't like it one bit. Drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the playground.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap, people tell me I'm a clip. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill, it gotta be about business. Big